My best friend is selling the project car we built together to take his girlfriend to Bali. It's registered in his name. I am not OOP. OOP is you legal importance, $79.99, originally posted to r/offmitchist. My best friend is selling the project car we built together to take his girlfriend to Bali. It's registered in his name thanks to you/Queen Legolas, and you numb as hell one for suggesting this BoRU original post. Rared it. June 15, 2026. I am absolutely losing my mind right now, and I just need to vent before I do something I permanently regret. For the past 8 months, my best friend and I have been building a project car in his garage. It started as a completely stripped, beat-up chassis. I am the one with the mechanical knowledge, so I did 90% of the actual heavy lifting, building the engine, sorting the wiring, installing the suspension, everything. On top of that, I funded about 80% of the parts because he was short on cash, but promised we split the profit 50-50 when we flipped it, or just keep it as a track toy. Because it was his house and his garage, we registered the chassis in his name just to make the initial towing and paperwork easier. Huge mistake. Huge. The build is finally finished. It looks incredible, sounds insane, and the performance is top tier. Yesterday, he calls me out of nowhere and tells me a buyer offered him a massive cash deal for it, and he accepted. I was hyped at first, thinking about our payout. Then he drops the bomb. He's keeping the entire profit because he wants to take his girlfriend on a luxury vacation to Bali next month. He literally told me, "Well, it's my garage and my name on the papers, so legally it's my car. I'll give you $500 for your trouble." $500. I spent thousands on the turbo setup, the ECU, editor's note, electronic control unit, and hundreds of hours of manual labor. I literally have grease permanently stained under my fingernails from building his vacation fund. I don't even know what to do. Legally, I know I'm probably screwed because there's no written contract, just text messages. I feel completely betrayed by someone I considered a brother. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. If you have receipts and text messages stating the money was to be split, you can take him to small claims court. This doesn't require a lawyer or anything and is usually pretty quick. If he doesn't show up, they rule in your favor. He's a terrible friend, and I hope after this is all said and done, you never speak to him again. OOP. Thank you so much for explaining that small claims doesn't need a lawyer. That actually makes me feel way less overwhelmed. I definitely have the texts where we talked about splitting the profits 50-50 when we finish the build. I'm going to start organizing all the receipts tonight. And yeah, after this, he is dead to me. Commenter 2. Be thorough. Make a packet of all the receipts and communications with a table of contents to make it easy to peruse. Commenter 3. I would definitely let him know that you are planning to seek legal action. Before buying his tickets to Bali, you recommend he consults with an attorney because he will owe you a lot more than he realizes. OOP. That's a brilliant point about warning him before he drops all that cash on tickets. I'm honestly terrified of the confrontation because he thinks he completely holds all the cards right now, but maybe mentioning a legal consultation will make him sweat a bit. Commenter 4. A build like that should be documented with videos, Facebook posts. If you spent money, get the receipts. Sue him. That's real money and it will be taken seriously. OOP. I actually do have a ton of videos and photos on my phone from when we were doing the engine swap, and I paid for the turbo kit on my card, so the bank statements are there. But can I actually sue someone if the car registration is entirely in his name? I'm just so stressed out, man. I don't even know how small claims court works. Commenter 5. You absolutely can and have a strong case based on the evidence you have. Especially if you can ensnare him with some text messages. Hey man, I get you want to take your girl to Bali, but I spent way more than this on the car and rebuild, and we agreed to split it 50-50. Depending on what he says, He can absolutely sewer himself by confirming what you said, trying to apologize. Very shitty friend, but at least you'll get your money back. A lot of shitty friendships cost people a lot more and they get back a lot less. OOP. That is an incredibly smart move. I actually haven't replied to his last text yet because I was too angry, so I am going to word my next text exactly like this. If I can get him to text back and explicitly admit that we agreed to 50-50, that gives me actual leverage. Thank you so much. I'm literally typing it out to him now. Commenter 6. The parts are yours, he never paid for them. Tell him either to give you a fair share, your parts back, or you'll take him to court. Small claims is super easy, just paperwork at the local courthouse. In most states, you don't even need a lawyer, but it might help you if the value is high enough to justify. We had to take our wedding photographer to small claims, and it was magically resolved after she received a summons. OOP. The thought of taking my parts back definitely crossed my mind, but the car is locked in his garage, and I don't want to catch a breaking and entering charge on top of losing my money. Hearing your story about the wedding photographer magically fixing things after a summons gives me a lot of hope, though. I'm going to look into the local small claims paperwork first thing in the morning. Commenter 7. Small claims. Then get a new friend. Also, I draft a bill for your hours put into it at a fair standard rate to include in your claim. OOP. Drafting a bill for my manual labor hours is an incredible idea. If I count up every weekend and late night I spent rebuilding the top end and doing the wiring, even at a basic hourly rate, it easily totals thousands. Adding that to the receipts for the parts should make the claim airtight. Thank you so much for this update. 1. June 16, 2026. Next day update. My best friend is selling the project car we built together to take his girlfriend to Bali. The trap is sprung. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who commented on my last post, and to the people who flooded my chat requests. I've been reading through the messages silently, including some actual legal perspectives, but my inbox is a bit overwhelmed right now, so I couldn't reply to everyone individually. I felt completely broken yesterday, but seeing so many people in my corner giving solid advice gave me the backbone to actually do something about this. A few of you suggested that I shouldn't confront him aggressively, but instead text him calmly to try and get him to admit to our 50-50 agreement in writing so I'd have evidence for small claims court. Well, it worked. Better than I could have imagined. Last night, I sent him a text. I kept my emotions completely out of it and wrote, "Hey man, I'm trying to stay calm here. I know the registration is in your name, but we spent 8 months building this together and explicitly agreed to split the profit 50-50. Dropping $500 on me after I built the engine and funded the turbo setup is completely unfair." He took the bait immediately. He called me twice, but I let it go to voicemail because I wanted everything in text. When he realized I wasn't answering, he texted back, "Bro, plans change. I need the cash for the Bali trip with Jess. Yeah, we said 50-50 at the start, but legally it's my car. Be happy I'm even giving you $500. You don't have a contract anyway, so you can't do anything." He literally admitted to the agreement while trying to flex that I couldn't stop him. Once I had that screenshot saved and backed up, I sent my final reply. I have the receipts for every single aftermarket part, bank statements proving I bought them, and now I have your text admitting we agreed to split the profit 50-50. I am drafting an itemized bill for my labor hours at a standard shop rate. If you don't freeze the sale and give me my fair share, I am filing a summons for small claims court first thing on Monday. See you there. He hasn't replied since, but his girlfriend just blocked me on Instagram, so I know he's absolutely panicking right now. I'm currently organizing all my receipts and printing out the text thread. I will keep you guys posted on whether he folds or if we are actually going to court, but for now, the trap is sprung. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Doing everything via text and ignoring calls was a big brain move. Well done. OOP. Thanks. I knew if I picked up the phone, it would just be a shouting match and I'd lose my leverage. Had to get it in writing. Commenter 2, great to see this update. It'd be heartbreaking enough to see all the hard work just disappear without enjoying the car first, than to throw in that he'd rather toss a friend away for a vacation. That sucks, man. Good luck with this process and fingers crossed it gets sorted soon. I guess at the least you figured out what kind of person he is sooner OOP. Thanks. Honestly, that's the part that stings the most. We spent late nights bleeding brakes, tracking down wiring gremlins, and just talking about how insane it would sound when it finally boosted. To watch him toss all of that away just to flex on a vacation is wild to me. But you're right, better to know who he really is now than later. Commenter 3. Hey, just make sure you're super organized and prepared. This sounds like a slam dunk for you, and judges love when someone acts like they care about respecting the court's time. OOP, definitely. I'm currently printing out every single bank statement, receipt, and the exact text thread so it's a completely organized stack. Not trying to waste any time. Commenter 4. Now his GF is mad at you because you didn't let her BF steal the money from you. Maybe the idea to sell the car was hers. If he needs to sell a car to afford vacations, it's not a good idea of going. OOP, honestly wouldn't surprise me if she was whispering in his ear about it. The fact that she blocked me the second I threatened court speaks volumes. Commenter 5. You did good, but I'm really sorry that you're having to deal with all of this and navigate the legal system right after losing a friend. OOP. Thank you, it really is surreal. Trying to navigate the legal side while processing the betrayal is exhausting, but I have to protect myself. Commenter 6. Very eager to learn how much exactly you spent, parts and labor, on this project that your ex-friend is only offering you $500 for. OOP. I'm still organizing the final stack of receipts for Monday, but just the turbo setup and ECU alone ran into the thousands, plus hundreds of hours of heavy manual labor. $500 doesn't even cover a fraction of it. Final update. June 18, 2026, 2 days later. I honestly didn't expect my life to become a multi-part drama series on Reddit, but after the insane amount of support on my last 2 posts, I owe you guys the final conclusion. To recap, I texted my best friend using the advice here, trapped him into admitting our agreement on the project car build, and threatened him with small claims court and an itemized bill for my labor. Yesterday morning, the pressure finally broke him. I woke up to 5 missed calls from his dad. It turns out his dad saw the text thread on his phone, or my ex-friend cracked under pressure and confessed. I'm not entirely sure. His dad is a really hardworking, honest guy, and he was absolutely mortified by what his son tried to do to me. About an hour later, my ex-friend called me. He sounded completely defeated, no more arrogant flexing, no more legally it's my car attitude. He apologized, though it sounded like his parents forced him to do it. Drop your verdict in the comments. Wait, what?